Lights off. Going green. Out of 4 for the B-Mods. Richard Magee on the pole. Mike Keever front row. And here we go. Let's get her on. Keever leads us going into 1 and 2. Everybody rolling bottom side. Through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Field quickly getting spread apart. 3 wide momentarily. Oh, man, they really squeezed them back there. Chase Hubbard running like a dog on the loose. Bobby, you must be watching on Flow, aren't you? Mike Keever leading down the back straightaway. Richard Magee. Keever and the 33 getting into it there with Matthew Shenberger. Kind of fed it to him and had to check himself up. Mike Duvall looking to go. The inside of 33 of Matthew. Side by side for the 4th spot. Duvall on the bottom. And then the 83, Matthew Shenberger right there. Robert Harley. Mike Duvall working Robert Harley. Side by side out of 4. Robert Harley has him, but he's getting held up by the 83 of Matthew Shenberger. Mike Duvall on the bottom. Got around to Robert Harley in the 33. And now working for 3rd of the 83 of Matthew. Matthew slides it up out of 4. Mike Duvall right there. Mike Keever still leading. Richard Magee. Matthew and then Mike Duvall. Here comes Duvall for a run for 3rd. He's on the tail bumper into 3 and 4. Mike Duvall right there in pursuit. Matthew slides it up out of 4. Duvall on the bottom, side by side at the line. Duvall working on the bottom. Mike Duvall still working on Matthew for 3rd. Matthew Shenberger in the 83 in the 3rd spot, holding off the 13 of Mike Duvall. Everybody now spread apart, doing their own thing. Mike Keever, your leader. Richard Magee. Mike Keever with a 1.1 second advantage over Richard Magee. And now, once again, Mike Duvall right there trying to get around Matthew. Halfway now. Mike Duvall still running bottom side, trying to get around Matthew Shenberger. Matthew holding off. Chase Hubbard nearly getting into it with the 25P of Paul Blocker. Chase Hubbard trying inside of Paul into 1 and 2. Chase all over of Paul Blocker down the back straightaway. Chase to the inside of Paul Blocker. Side by side into 3 and 4. Chase slides him up the track, literally pushes him up out of the way. And Chase Hubbard now overcomes Chase into the 6th spot. And now here comes the 33 of Robert Harley on the tail bumper of Mike Duvall. 3-way going for 3rd spot. We'll see if they can restack. As race leader, Mike Keever now into lap traffic. We'll see if the M1 of Richard Magee will be able to capitalize. 2K Mike Keever working to put the number 4 of Scott Walton a lap down, working to go inside and got held up. Richard Magee trying to use it to his advantage. And once again, Chase Hubbard and Paul Blocker side by side for the 6th spot. Chase Hubbard on the outside. They're side by side right in front of the leaders racing for the 6th spot. Battles everywhere. Mike Keever working to put the number 4 of Scott Walton a lap down. Chase Hubbard and Paul Blocker going to town. Mike Duvall and Robert Harley still going at it for 2nd and 3rd. 2 to go for Mike Keever. Keever getting around. And now Richard Magee going underneath. And now Mike Keever puts Paul Blocker between him and Magee. Paul Blocker right there. And Magee gets into it with a lap car. And around goes the number 4 of Scott Walton in turn number 2. Richard Magee getting into it with the lap car there. Yellow. 2 laps remain. Mike Keever, Richard Magee. And we're back green. Mike Duvall quickly trying to go to the inside of the 83. Matthew Shenberger for 3rd. Side by side down the back straightaway. Duvall on the bottom. Matthew on the high side. Matthew trying to hold off on the bottom. White flag. One more trip for Mike Keever. Mike Keever leading into 1 and 2. Down the back straight. Keever, Magee, Matthew into 3, now to 4. Checkered flag. Mike Keever gets her done in Tulsa. Magee, Matthew, Mike, Robert, Chase, Paul, and Scott rounding him out. And the 2K, Mike Keever, your B-Mod feature winner.